Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you my Geargia deck. This is a deck that I've been playing around with a lot, again lately, ever since the last ban list came out earlier in November. I've been having a lot of fun with this deck. I used to play with this deck about a year and a half ago. It was really fun for me, but I've been playing with it again ever since Geargia Gear came back. And this is pretty much more of a version of a Geargia Karakuri deck. That's the version I like playing because I like having the Karakuri engine in the deck. So I like playing with the Karakuris, making it more of an OTK type of deck. But you can either run the pure Geargias, the Geargia Karakuri. It's up to you, but I prefer the Geargia Karakuri because it's more fun and has more potential, I feel like. But let's get started, guys. So I run the 3 Geargia Armor, staple card in the deck, a very good monster. You can reflip it up and down, gain advantage either way, and pretty much just keep getting cards to your hand, which is really nice. So not much more to say about him, except we'll talk later about his 1,900 defense. And that's pretty much his only downside. The 3 Geargia Accelerator, this is the main card you usually search off for Geargia Armor. So once you get your armor set and you flip it back up, you'll probably search out an Accelerator to go off for more combo plays, and then after that you may make a Geargia Gano X, or get more searches off to search for your Birdman or whatever else you want to. That's up to you. But really good card. Definitely 3 Accelerator and 3 Geargia Armor. You run this pretty much in the 3 in your Karakuri build with Geargias, and you run it in your pure Geargia build. I know some people are going to be asking me why I do not run Geargia Augur. That's a card that came out in the structure deck about a year ago now, I think it's been. And the reason I don't run that card really is because I played the card back when Geargia Gear was limited to 1, and it was an okay card. It was good turn 1, but playing with the card again a year later or so, I guess you could say over a year later, I just don't find it as good. It's still good turn 1, but after that, I don't find myself using it. So you could replace it and put it in the deck with some other cards, but personally, I don't like it. So we run the 3 Geargia Accelerator and the 3 Geargia Armor. Armor is definitely a staple in the deck as a 3-of. Then I run the 3 Arsenal, Geargia Arsenal. Now, in the pure Geargia build, you definitely want to run your 3 Arsenal, hands down, if you're running pure Geargias. But for Geargia Karakuris, you can get away, I found in the past and even now, with 2 Geargia Arsenal. The reason I decided to run 3 instead of 2, really, is because, in this Karakuri build, is because the fact of the matter was, it helped me see my arsenal faster, and it just helped me pretty much see my arsenal first turn, get my setup. So get my arsenal on the field, my Geargia Armor on the field, get my setup, set some back row, and then go off next turn after I've done my play, after my opponent's gone. So that's why I like this. You don't have to run 3, you can get away with 2, but I definitely like 3. Then I run, for the Geargianos, I guess you could say, pretty much your MK2s, because Geargia Gear is back at 3. Your 1 Geargiano and your 1 MK3. I'm still playing around with these ratios of these guys as of right now. The 3 MK2s still work well. The 1 Geargiano Mark III. I still like the MK3 in the deck. I've always kind of liked him, but he gives you more targets to go off of if you draw some of these guys. And make sure if you get 1 gear off, you have more targets if you get a second one. That's the reason why I like running the MK3. The 1 Geargiano is still good as a 1-of, and your 3 MK2s. So I'm still playing around with these ratios of these different guys here, and playing around with them. But for right now, 3 MK2, 1 MK3, because he's pretty good, and 1 Geargiano. That's pretty much what I'm running as of right now, because that seems to be working out for me. Then for your, I guess you could say, your Karakuri engine, we run 2 Watchdog, staple, your 1 Nishipashi, I never can pronounce this card's name, and your 1 Genix Allied Birdman. Birdman is staple in this deck. He's so freaking good. You search him off Geargia X, maybe, because he's a machine. You rebounce your armor, reset it. I mean, there's just some cool-ass plays you can do with the 1 Birdman, and that's what I've always loved Birdman, but especially in Geargia Karakuris, he's so good. Your 3 Watchdog, I like it as 3 of. Sometimes I've seen people run 2 Nishipashis, but I just like the 1 Nishipashi. I've seen some people run other different Karakuris as well, but these are just the only ones I like running with the 1 Birdman. But that's pretty much for your synchro plays right there. Your main tuners for the deck as well. One card I'm testing out right now, and that is for the last monster, 1 Traptrix Marmello. I was thinking of running maybe a bigger Traptrix engine in here, or not even running it at all. And the reason I'm running 1 Traptrix Marmello is because I do run 1 bottomless trap hole, and I run 2 space-time trap hole. So this card's pretty live most of the time. And it just helps me thin my deck out in search. I'm also running 2 Call of the Haunted in general for Scrap Dragon and whatnot plays, because I run Fiendish Chains, which I'll talk about later why I still run that, and other reasons. But I do like the 1 Traptrix Marmello as a tech-in. It comes in handy because literally I have 3 targets, like I said, the 1 bottomless, and I have 2 space-time trap hole in the deck. Granted, this deck has always run a high amount of traps. I think my build is running 12 traps, which is, for me, a lot of traps most of the time. But it really comes in handy as a 1 of. You could build, you don't have to run it. You could maybe play around with the Traptrix engine, maybe add some Dianeras and whatnot into the deck. But for right now, I just like the 1 Marmello. It's coming in handy. It puts in work, and I really do like it. And it does help with the rank 4 plays. I can't deny that as well. So 1 Marmello as a tech-in, I guess you could say. Next, I run 3 Upstart Goblins. I was trying out Pod Duality because I thought the deck may be slow in today's game, but the deck special summons a lot. Don't run Duality. I was just testing it out. Originally, I ran Upstart Goblins, and I still run it in the deck because it just helps you get to your traps, your plays, whatever, and OTK your opponent that just much faster. You can run other cards if you wish, but I definitely like the 3 Upstart in the deck. It works like a charm. Really helps the deck out, especially in this build. Get to your combo plays. Then I run 2 MST in the deck. MST just for you, pretty much, I've been running into mistakes, your vanities, those 1-ofs, skill drains, and kaijus. Oh gosh, hate me. But yes, it really comes in handy, and I'm happy I'm running the 2 MSTs still. Helps against pendulums as well. Your 1 Instant Fusion, I only run 1 of. The 1 Book of Moon, the 1 Regeki, and the 1 Soul Charge, and that's all for the spells. Not that many spells. The deck's a 40-card deck, though. But the 1 Instant Fusion for the 1 Node-in plays we have for Exceed, Synchros. So some rank 4 plays, some Synchro plays, whatever. Instant Fusion comes in handy, I find. The 1 Book of Moon for offensive and defensive capacities really comes in handy when they're trying to run over your armor as well. It really, really does. Regeki for going on the offensive, or if your opponent's got a powerful board, you crack it, and then you OTK them with the Karakuri engines and whatnot. The Soul Charge for building big, powerful boards and winning games. I will admit, just on the side note here, I have thought about running TG Striker in the deck just because I could easily make Beast Barkion in the deck, make Naturia Beast, excuse me, and just lock my opponents out of their spells, especially with the pendulums. That's something I've been thinking about in the deck. This deck has really got my creative juices going lately as of the last couple of weeks. And that's just something else I've been thinking about. And even doing this deck profile, I just want to mention that to you guys. You could run maybe a, I guess you could say just a level 1. Maybe not a TG Striker, but something that you can make easily with a Naturia Beast, because pretty much everything's Earth in the deck for the most part. So just going to throw that out there if you guys want to play around a little bit creatively. Next, we run the 3 Gear. I'm happy this card came back to 3. Really helped the deck out. I'm happy they didn't do what they did to Bestiari. Let Gear sit on the the ban list until it is no longer a good card to some extent. I'm happy they just brought it right back because they saw power creep, brought it back. Good, Konami. That I don't mind you limiting cards and then bringing them back a year later. I will live with that. But 3 Gear. Definitely a staple in the deck. Like I said, I'm still playing around with the Geargianos, trying to figure out the right ratio, but definitely 3 Gear. 2 Fiendish Chains. The reason I'm not running Fiendish Chain over Breakthrough Skill is because mainly of Gear Armor. I can't tell you how many times I was having people, even back in the day and even now, they'll run over your Gear Armor, and it's not fun. You want to have this card set so you can keep reflipping it and gaining advantage. That's the potential of this card. But that 1,900 defense does not come in handy really for stopping. It stops, you know, generic beat sticks, but it's not going to stop, you know, some other cards out there in today's game, I guess you could say. So pretty much what I'm saying is I do like the Fiendish Chains over the Breakthrough skill. You could replace maybe some other cards in the deck if you wanted to for a third Fiendish Chain, though I prefer the 2 Fiendish Chain. Later on you can maybe run Solemn Notice if you wish, but I just like it because Fiendish Chain helps stopping people from running over their armor, so I can gain more advantage. It's also good because we can easily make Scrap Dragon in the deck and pop this to pop something else on the field as well. So it comes in handy. It has a dual purpose, I guess you could say. So I really like the 2 Fiendish Chains for Scrap Dragon and for stopping people running over my armor. Next up, I run 2 Space-Time Trap Hole. We have ways of searching this out, thank the Lord, by your Mamillo as well. So it's very easy to get. It's a good card against many decks. I believe Space-Time Trap Hole, from what I remember a judge telling me a long time ago, it does not target. So I really like the card in general. It's come in handy. Yes, you have to pay 1,000 life points per monster, but it can win you games single-handedly, which is really, really nice. And the cool thing is, if your opponent's got that 1 MST in their hand, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, ooh. And you search this out with Mamillo, and you set a couple of back row. They have to pick and choose before they go off of the pendulum, because they have to literally bait your back row out, number one, or they just have to blind MST and maybe hopefully hit it. So you can play mind games with your opponent, which is really fun. But definitely I like the 2 Space-Time Trap Hole. Really comes in handy in the deck. I really like it. Next we run the 2 Call the Haunteds. You can use this for Nodin, Mamillo, for your other things in general, your armor, bringing it back, resetting it, whatever. It's so good in the deck. You also have Scrap Dragon in the side deck, so you can easily pop it if it's dead on the field to blow up things for free. There's nothing wrong with that. So overall, very good versatile card in the deck. I really enjoyed it as a 2 of. Next, the 1 Vanity's Emptiness, the 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, and the 1 Solemn Warning. I know in the back in the day, a lot of people ran a lot more traps in their Geargia Karakuri builds and Geargia builds, but me, I'm just feeling that 10-ish spot is the best. I think I run 10 traps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, 10. The Vanity's Emptiness just stops opponents in their track and you can beat them down. The Bottomless Trap Hole is a very good card. We run it. And Solemn Warning is a good card as well. You may say it may conflict with life points with the Space-Time Trap Hole and Soul Charge and the Instant Fusion, but if you gain enough advantage on your opponent, it doesn't matter. So that's where we run all these guys. These are power cards. On to the extra deck, guys. So we run our 2 Geargia Gear. Granted, Geargia Gear's attack has been kind of power creep, but he's still a very good card. I remember playing him back when I played Gadgets back in the day, and oh, so fun. That takes me back, but actually, I may build Gadgets after revisit my old Gadget deck after I'm done doing this deck profile, but we'll see. The 2 Geargia X's, you go into this, you search out whatever you need, really. Your armors, your Gen X Ally Birdman, whatever. So, 2 X's. For your rank 4 is pretty much your Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, your Castel the Sky Musketeer, your 1 Abyss Dweller, your 1 Gagaga Cowboy, and your Big Eye, because you can make Big Eye if you have 2 berets on the field, I believe it is, and maybe another, just 2 generic 7s, and it does come in handy. And I ran it over Dragosack and whatever, and the Red Eyes exceed, because Big Eye just can win you games. But you may, if you really want to, take the Big Eye out, maybe run another rank 4 if you wish. It's up to you. The Cowboy can help you win games in multiple ways. Abyss Dweller shuts down decks, Castel is versatile, and Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon's a big beater that can get over things, which is really nice. So that's why you run those guys. Good for Nodin plays and Exceed plays. For your your level 7s, your Clearwing Synchro Dragon, you always make these 2 usually, and your Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. You always seem to make these 2 cards. For your other, I guess you could say, Karakuri Synchros, you run your 2 Beret. Let me put them right here. Your 2 Beret and your 1 Burrito, or as I've always called him, Burrito. So your 2 Beret and your 1 Burrito. Just, they're good. They help you with your engines, your power plays, OTKing your opponent. Just good cards. I mean, I don't know much more I can say about them. They're just good. Good old synchros. But mainly you go for these first, and then sometimes you go for your berets. But I definitely like it. Then for your 8s, I run 1 Red Scarlight Dragon Archfiend and 1 Scrap Dragon, because his versatility in this deck is just stupid. So I definitely like the Scrap Dragon, and I definitely like the Red Scarlight Dragon. And then finally the 1 Nodin, because we do run the 1 Instant Fusion in the deck. That's 15 cards right there, guys. So your Nodin, your Scarlight, and your Scrap Dragon for versatility. Though I will say I also have, and you can run if you do wish, I guess you could say if you do wish to run it, you can run 1 Trishula of the Ice Barriers. So if you wanted to cut something out of this extra deck and run Trishula, be my guest. You can easily make it to some degree in the deck, but that's up to you, the player, to decide if you would like to run Trishula in the deck or not. So that is the deck profile for you guys. I think I've done it under 15 minutes just about. Oh my gosh, that's a new record, I think, for deck profiles. So that happens when it's a deck that's pretty straightforward. But it's a good deck. It's a really good deck. Geargia, they're cheap, they're good. Ever since the structure deck came out, they just made them even cheaper. They're really, if you build them properly and you side deck properly, they can be really good against the meta. Really, I mean, if you properly build the deck and you properly side deck, yeah, you can win right now. That is until maybe Pepe takes over, but that's neither here nor there. Your locals, this deck would do good. At regionals, that you may get a top, but just saying, you have to properly pilot the deck. You can't make misplays, and you can do well. But till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. I'll see all of you next time, and I hope you enjoyed this Gear deck profile, or I guess you could say Geargia Karakuri deck. But till next time, guys, take care, everybody. Seto Kaiba, I'm out here. Till next time. Good luck dueling to all of you.